Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Ben PF, and on today's episode we've got something from Ben Nevis, which is a distillery I don't think I've really covered much or at all in the past, and certainly in terms of my own personal tasting experience, I've never owned a bottle of it. I think I had a sample years ago before I started the channel. So it's been one of those distilleries that's kind of like passed me by a lot. I'm very guilty of waiting for a whiskey to just kind of be under my nose before I grab it. I don't really go searching for stuff. My budget's quite weak, like most people's is. So when I've got money to buy, I tend to look for whatever deals just are around at that time. And that's kind of served me well over the last 7 years. I've been able to just get whatever I want to a certain extent without going too heavy. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that Ben Nevis hasn't really found its way under my nose until now, of course. And this one here, as you know, you might see through this not frosted, but darkened glass. I've got the heel keels of this bad boy. Thanks to my good friend Alex, he's been featuring on the channel fairly frequently at the moment, kind of giving me bottles that roughly have like a third left in them so that I can review them and get him the bottles back. He likes to collect those bottles. So yeah, a massive shout out to Alex for basically lending me these bottles. So I wouldn't have tried them otherwise. And that's to my detriment, of course, because as we'll get into today, most of them that I've tried so far have been pretty good, the ones that he's lent me. Not all of them. Some of them have been a bit overpriced and I would never have bought them. That said, that's not quite this one. But yeah, so today we've got a Ben Nevis, and this is the, I'm going to say Coire Leis. Someone tell me below. I did have a good old look, and short of actually calling the distillery to find out, I couldn't find a absolute certainty on the pronunciation. But essentially, it's the water source that they use from the highest water source, 1,300 meters or 4,400 feet if you're into the old money. But yeah, an interesting one. It's 46%, and this was released in 2021 alongside the most recent version of the 10-year. So that I haven't tried, so I don't know about that. But obviously we have a no-age statement, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot on Whisky Tube recently, because when I first started doing the channel, no-age statement was a bit of a kind of taboo subject. It was age statements or nothing, not from me personally, but just from the vibes of the community, and that still exists today. That sort of I don't want to use the word prejudice, but that sort of like misconception, let's say, still exists today. And back then it was kind of fair enough, right? Because a lot of the no age statements that were coming out were directly replacing old age statements, and they were the same price, if not more expensive, and the quality was diminished. But I guess the whiskey industry has cottoned on to that a little bit. I don't want to cite Whisky Tube and the blogging sphere in that regard, but I think we've had a good influence on the industry over the years, and we've called out bad whiskies, and there's not really much room for it anymore. So the no age statements have to have good quality if they want to survive. And I think we're getting to the point now where quite a lot of no age statements, I was going to say most, but I would say quite a lot of no age statements that come out from well-known brands like Ben Nevis and beyond tend to have good quality. That's the statement I'll leave there. But yeah, back to this one then. As I said earlier, it's all fair game. I'm not overly keen on the bottle, but I can see through it, so I'm not going to complain too much on it. It looks nice, but it kind of disguises the fact that it's kind of pale in nature. But and that doesn't bother me. That colour doesn't bother me. But I get it from a broader perspective, from a broader appeal. Light whiskies don't tend to sell as well as darker whiskies, through no fault of our own at least, but that's just what happens. So I get it. I'm not sure if that's the reason why they've done this. It's the design choice. It looks nice. It's just not my bag, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know much about it other than that, to be honest. Making some guesses. There's not a whole heap of information about it online. Their website is actually down at the moment looking for a refurb, so I wasn't able to get any information from that. And like I said before, short of actually calling the distillery, but I'm no journalist. I'm no kind of investigative journalist, so I go with what I can find online. And if I can't find it online, I just assume that you can't find it online, and we go with it. That's what I say. So yeah, so I don't know much about. In fact, I just looked on the back of the label, so I said that there. I do know about it. Non-chill filtered natural colour. There you go. Do your research and look at the label, Vinny. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, we can talk about the colour a little bit. It's nice. It's a nice light colour for sure. Kind of a little bit on from golden straw, but nice. I like that sort of thing. Let's get onto the nose then. Now this straight away. I mean, I always say things like creme brulee, right? But that's really just another way of saying kind of vanillas, caramels, fudges. But it's, if you've ever smelt a creme brulee, it's exactly what we're smelling. It's exactly what we're smelling. For me, it's got a little bit of a back end of a kind of a slight orangey zestiness to it. It's not overly prevalent, but it definitely is there if you let this sit out on the side for any length of time. Let's get onto the palate. Now this one kind of, it's actually got a really lovely mouthfeel to it. It's like silky, really silky and smooth. It's not overly viscous, but it's just got a really nice, I know it's hard to explain without actually getting to taste it. A lot of whiskies that you try are quite harsh and tend to light up your sensories, your olfactory system when you're not, when you've not woken it up with a pre-dram. But something like this, it just coats it all in such a lovely, well-meaning way, if that makes any sense. But it's a lot of the flavours, at least, are transferred on from the nose, more of those creme brulees and things like that. But for me, it's more orangey for sure. It's got a little bit more orange to it, but for me, it's got a kind of like a floral heatheriness to the back end that I really enjoy. Finish is a story of two halves. It's medium long, but the medium part is where all of the kind of fruity, vanilla-y stuff is going on. When that disappears, there's still a finish, and it's a very long finish, but the fruitiness has gone and the spice sticks around, the peppery spice, which is lovely. I like that sort of thing. But yeah, for me, actually, that's a real winner. And it sells for roughly 45 quid in the UK, I think. And it's out of stock most places, but some places you can get it. I think it's got relatively worldwide appeal as well, so you might be able to get it in your area. But yeah, that's a good price, I think, for this. I know that's, if you look back 5-6 years, it's definitely pushing the boundaries of what no age statements would have been able to achieve. But unfortunately, the new age is coming through, and if you're watching this when I release the video, we're just about to have a price hike in the UK. Ultimately, that's only really going to be maybe a quid or two for some of the lower value bottles at least, but it's going to be noticeable across a collection or a range or whatever. You know, prices are going to be going up. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's inevitable. One day they might come down, but yeah. So around that 45 quid, I did see it as low as 41, 42, maybe even a bit lower, 39. So yeah, you can get good deals on this. And actually, I think it's worth it. This is a really lovely dram, surprisingly good. I didn't know what to expect when I tried this, and I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, especially that mouthfeel, absolutely gorgeous, love it. There you go, that's my thoughts on Ben Nevis. Let me know what you think if you've tried a load of Ben Nevis, because I would love to know where I should go next. Like I said, I'm a bit understudied on Ben Nevis, so should I hit the 10 years, should I go finding other things? Let me know in the description below, in the comments below. And check out all the links and stuff that I have in the description. It's all stuff down there. Discord server is lit up. We like it. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. I'm going to kill that bottle, and I'll get that back to Alex. Cheers everyone for watching, and I'll see you again soon.